Sometimes it takes a while for the stream to actually get going after I have instructed it to begin streaming. The amount of time varies. Could be a whole minute, could have been 2 seconds. Anyways, I'll assume people can hear me by now since I'm too lazy tonight to even check. So tonight we're just gonna do some chill questing for a while, at least until I clear them all. Maybe I'll keep playing after that. We're just gonna do gathering quests, small monster slaying, none of the harder stuff. Also, I found my amiibos, or they're amiibo cards, not the real figures, so we can try this out.
Welcome.
Scan amiibo figures, you have to have 3 lottery entries per day. I have 2 right now. Soon can be used for 1 entry per day. Got it, so I think I had a 3rd somewhere, but I didn't keep with the others, and maybe I'll find it. Not tonight, though. Going to special one-time only prize video. Ooh, you scan them. So I'd assume Monster Hunter amiibo would grant you something interesting. First we're going to use Ocarina of Time Link. Successful read. Let's see what we got. New lottery trap tool, huh? And that is trap tool, barrel bombs.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, it's alright, I guess. And bombs fitting with Zelda and Wolf Link. They were all Zelda themed. I got them for the Breath of the Wild. And more trap tools, okay. Well, free stuff's always good. Bombs and barrels. I should probably buy a few potions.
An excellent purchase. Thank you for your patronage.
Alright,
Make sure to check the special quest as well.
Yeah, I know, there's an urgent quest. We'll do that later. Skipping supply run. 6 classic dango ingredients.
Good luck.
Let's see if there are any gathering related dango effects. Eat a meal.
I've got lots of tasty snacks.
You probably shouldn't pay with points that are harder to get, so then again, I don't see a lot of uses for them so far. Alright, calculator me as well, because we're gathering. Trainer. I think that's mostly for hunting. Gatherer, that's what we want. Honey, though. Spare birds. Stamina consumption we might use. Alright, go for it.
Yeah, those are great.
These cat girls are pretty. Definitely would. Also, she seems cute in the video, but on the overworld sprite, there's something that looks really weird about her face.
Yay!
Also, I probably already said, but I like the older games eating things more. They're just ridiculous piles of food. And you just like eat it all in a matter of seconds. And we're still kind of being a glutton by eating all 3 at once. Just there's a lot less going on in this game.
Have a seat.
But that's fine. I mean, Monster Hunter World still probably has content coming out. It's got a lot to do, and a lot that I haven't done. I've beaten the main story. I did at least half of the DLC story. I can't remember if I did everything I needed to there. And there was still just lots more DLC monsters coming out last time I checked, but that was a couple years ago. Alright, we're looking for Fabled Spice. It's these green things on the map. Deja vu. I have been in this place before. Higher on the streets. I can't remember any of the other lyrics, and they're mostly unintelligible. I really should watch Initial D one of these days. Why am I not seeing the plant? It's... Oh, this box. I was looking for weird plants. Small package. Alright, so they're packages. There's a lot of concepts in this I really dig though, and they should definitely keep moving forward. Alright, so box. It says it's right here. There it is. Sometimes it's nice to just relax by a river. Another package. So lately I've been playing the old Pokemon trading card games on the Game Boy Color. I thought about streaming those, but it would mostly just be me being angry at the NPCs. Also, I was waiting until I had a viable deck together, and I was through most of the game before I had a deck that wasn't terrible. And it still feels like your decks are terrible all the time because the NPCs are super overpowered. They cheat at the game constantly. It's frustrating.
Looks useful.
Almost everything in those games is determined by coin flips, and they cheat at the coin flips. They always get favorable results, whereas you very often can't get something going. Like, there's a Kangaskhan that has a really strong attack for a pretty low cost, and the only thing they need to do to make it happen is get 2 coin flips to land on heads. For you as a human, that's really hard and inconsistent, so that makes it not a useful ability. But for the NPCs, it's pretty much a guaranteed hit every time. And there's a Meowth that, are we done already? Nice. That draws cards. It draws cards by, you flip coins constantly until you land on tails. So as many heads as you flip, you draw that many cards. So,
Good job, my
being a
friend.
human, you get
Laughably
0 to
easy.
1 per time, and if you're really lucky, you'll get like 2 or 3. But the last time I saw an NPC is that they got 11 in a row. Which isn't even supposed to be possible for you. I mean, even if they do use a true 50% chance on a coin flip, that's statistically nearly impossible because, you know, half of 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 so on of a chance of happening is really unlikely. And they do this really annoying thing where they'll put out weak cards that do attacks that only deal 10 damage, which is really 1 hit point in a trading card game. So you'll bring out a strong monster, destroy theirs, then they get their chance to attack. They put 1 energy on a weak monster, and just spam their weak attack that has paralysis on it. It's supposed to be a coin flip as to whether they get to do the paralyze, but they cheat, so That means they get paralyzed every time, so sit there and just take out your 100+ HP monster by paralyzing it every single turn. And paralysis also makes it so you can't even switch to a different monster. Why do I keep saying monster? It's Pokemon. I should even be saying card, not Pokemon in the first place.
I have a special quest for you.
Anyways,
Here's the quest list.
alright, we're gonna take on, ooh, Kazu. Not right now. We're Chillquesting. Cactuses. 10 bubble cactus.
Be careful out there.
I won't. Be careful. Risk my neck getting these cactuses.
Right here.
Harvester, okay, yeah, could be something. Wall runner, why not? Gatherer, are we doing honey? We might see some honey.
Coming right up. You.
Alright, I'm not gonna do that every time.
Yeah.
Back to work.
But aside from the NPC cheating, those old games are really fun, so I'd check them out if you like Pokemon, though you gotta be prepared for some frustration. Domain of Dust and Desolation, Sandy Plains.
A lifeless stretch of land, nothing but dust and sand. Barren and forlorn, lifeless and storm-torn. In the shadows monsters thresh, mad with lust for blood and flesh.
The hunt is on!
Okay, let's deal with whatever's in the supply box. Stop doing that, I'm trying to... There we go. Oy. A little annoying that, but yeah, they let you use all 151 of the original Pokemon as far as I'm aware, including my favorite, Mew. I've actually got a Mew deck, and it's one of my best ones. Hold on, there's the thing. Drop. Oh. Okay. Press the jump button twice, and I guess we dismount.
Excuse me.
Old message, 1,000 points. So they're added directly to your notebook. I'll try and read them all once we've got them, just because they're probably going to be, you know, needing to be in order. Don't want to just start at the middle of a story. Right now we're just exploring the areas. What's up? It's this thing. Kuyaku, was it?
I shall bring it down!
I'm not gonna fight it, they're super annoying. Yep, Kuyaku. We're making really good points so far. I should have used the point multiplier dango. If I didn't, which I can't remember. We can get up these. There we go. Well, I was thinking I might have to dismount to do it, but Cupcake is a very good doggo and climbed for us. But yeah, Pokemon TCG. It's a shame they didn't make any more of those games. We don't really have anything else like them. A card game RPG. Because, the battles are done. Instead of Pokemon battles, you do the trading card battles, but they have stories to them. And there are characters and things to do. It's neat, and they're just, as far as I'm aware, no other games like it. There's kind of the Yu-Gi-Oh games, but none of those are... This is what? Rhinopolis, then. Egg. What's happening? Do we have to carry this all the way back? Unless there's an alternate, what do you call it? Camp, I guess? I would not want to do this. What are these weird spiders? Are we going to get the spider monster in this one? I think it was in Generations. was really weird. Spiders that breathe fire, huh? Fireblight burns health, yes. Do a few dodges, but it goes out. It's all good. Killing these poor little monsters too. Alright, so this is Arachnoid.
Sorry, but duty calls.
Okay. Got some silk.
I'll help myself, thank you.
Castellans. Oh, they actually have parts. I figured they were just meat monsters.
Sorry, but duty calls. I shall put this to good use.
I kind of like her voice and I kind of don't. I still might start over with voice 15.
Sorry, but duty
We'll
calls.
see. We're still really early in the game. I'm only at 3-star quests. I'm hoping it goes up to at least 10 and has some really cool ultimate monsters, but there's no way to know till we get there. I mean, I could look it up, but that'd be spoilers, so don't do that. I'm sure you can climb this. There you go.
What's useful?
And typically these release kind of incomplete. A lot of the meat of the game is released
All according to
later as
plan.
DLC, which is actually pretty uncool in my opinion. It's like the one thing I don't like about this series. Is it gonna be up there or there it is?
Let's have a closer look.
Sometimes these dots are a little inaccurate. Alright, let's go clear up this cloud. But yeah, there's 2 games. The first one's in, I'd almost say black and white. It's not exactly. It's just like barely colored. Old Game Boy game style. But the second Pokemon TCG game is explicitly made for the Game Boy Color, not the regular Game Boy. So it's got a lot of color to it. Which is nice to see. It only came out in Japan originally, so playing it with an emulator, as I do, is your only way to play it for real, because there was a fans made an English translation patch.
Keep it up!
I mean, you could just like look up online how to
Let's have a closer look.
go through the game and the, I guess, translations of the cards, and then just play the Japanese one. Older games didn't have, ooh, region locks, sword. Okay, good. Don't see the cactus.
Let us move!
Okay, okay, good. Did my dog just fall off the cliff? I'm sure it's fine. Okay, go and run, and run. Run more, and flip, and run. There it is.
Let's see what
That feels
nature
really
has in
weird for a
store
Monster
us.
Hunter game, but I like it.
Mission accomplished!
Being able to just climb the terrain like that. Off the cliff. It's a good thing there's no fall damage. Jewel lilies, okay. I've got a bunch of these great wire bugs, so may as well use them.
That's one down!
All the way back up. Nice. But we didn't find what we were looking for, so all the way back down. Says it's right here. There it is.
What's this?
I should probably take a ration.
Run!
I haven't beaten the second game yet, I'm taking a little bit of a break from it because it's getting really frustrating. I'm pretty near the end though, and I'm also not wanting to completely reach the end because I don't want to be done. They're fun if irritating. If you have the patience for them and you love Pokemon, they're worth playing. So I'd recommend for
Let's see
Pokemon
what
fans.
nature has in
It's
store
only
for
the
us.
Gen 1 Pokemon, which most Pokemon players only seem to care about anyways. So, you know, Game Boy games, of course, they came out when just Generation 1. It's been a long time since the Game Boy. Makes me feel old. I've had the most success in it with my Mew deck. It uses Mews, Mewtwo's. Nice.
Farewell, monster!
Abra and Kadabra. Kadabra's kind of broke. It has an ability that deals decent damage and has a coin flip chance to prevent your opponent's next attack.
Laughably easy!
Which, as I mentioned earlier, is not very often in your favor because the NPC gets to do the coin flip. Got some Mandragoras, Might Seeds, we need these. Alright. We're gonna go on another gathering quest. New cutscene and a little experience. Anyways, Mew deck's pretty consistent. I also made a stall deck. It's Snorlaxes and Chanseys, and it uses switch out cards and scoop up, which allows you to take your Pokemon back to your hand and removes all the damage from it. And since they take forever to kill, that just draws out the game for a long time. Then I use a card that the NPCs, they're not very bright, so they get to choose how many cards they get to draw, and even if they're really low, they'll draw as many as they can. So I just use that to get them to draw out faster. And the whole time, while I'm just letting Snorlax and Chansey soak up damage, I've got a Moltres on the bench, and I give it all of the energy, and then I switch it out, and its ability lets you discard as much energy as you want from it, and your opponent has to put that many cards from their deck into their graveyard, or their discard pile rather. So yeah, it's about forcing them to deck out, and it gets around a lot of their broken strategies. Like the paralysis spam just doesn't matter, since I'm not trying to knock their Pokemon out in the first place. So they'll just sit there and spam their paralysis attack for 11 turns, and then on the last, Snorlax's last out of 120 hit points, he's down to 10, just use a scoop up, bring out a Chansey, start the process over. It would take forever, but since it's an emulator, I've got it sped up super fast. So the stall deck even is... It just doesn't take long to win. Oh hey, Car the Sailor, is that the thing? What you doing? Phew, time to get my tail in gear. Okay. Hiya, Muggy. Rampage is here. Heavy bowgun. Nice. Chase down monsters. Let's come home together.
Bye-bye.
Alright. Okay, there's just little interactions at the tea shop. It's neat.
Can't hunt on an empty stomach.
Can I will. Raisin Detra. It's a bad pun. raison d'etre, I'm pronouncing it probably wrong, is a reason to exist. Reason to live. Why you go on. Gather and polisher, okay.
Let's go.
Hi.
Make sure to check the special quest as
Get
well.
numbers here. And some earth crystals. Excuse me. Ore. Sure. And count items. Okay. Build quests. Level 3.
Which quest would you like?
Breath of the Past. 10 simple prisms. You got it.
Good luck.
So yeah, if there's ever any interest in from people in doing those, I would be happy to stream them or do them on YouTube. Those Pokemon games are they are fun. Oh, the other frustrating thing NPCs do, it's really dirty, especially in the second game.
Move.
They like to play monsters with resistances. And resistance will prevent 30 points of damage. Most attacks do 30 or less damage, and the ones that do more, you tend to have a lot of energy for. So it takes a long time to get them going, and when you do, you're only hitting for actually 10 to 20. So it just takes forever to kill them if you can. Pure crystal. Slave credit crystal. Form with small bones. I should... Options. Let's turn those to less often. Let's do like 20%. Okay. We got an unknown monster over here and a royal Woodroth. Let's go see what it is. What's up?
I shall bring it down.
I could bring it down just with dog attacks, but nah, we're gathering right now. Should grab that thing we passed. It's a mushroom of some sort. It says it's on a different level, but right here. So if I drop down, still not right here. Toadstool. Need to mine for that subquest. Got a light crystal, nice, those are rare. I guess we'll use the bugs to run up this. So it should be right... not right here. Could I climb those branches over there? Not sure. Let's see about climbing up here. That extra wire bug kind of comes in handy. Yep. Get up there. Okay, we can't get up there. Okay. So how is it there then? Is there like a cave here or something? I thought I could harvest these bones, but apparently not. Am I just blind and not seeing it here? Yep, I was blind. And also right about the cave. Anyways, they'll use monsters with resistance. It's a major pain. They especially like to use, there's a Kangaskhan that lets them draw a bunch of cards, so they end up with card advantage, which is always really important in card games. Having more options than your opponent. And those stalled turns let them put energy on their Pokemon. It's all just super uncool.
Let's see what nature has in store
But
for
the
us.
second game is especially bad about it because they'll be jerks and say, I'll only duel you
Excuse me.
if you only have like,
Mission accomplished.
huh, neat big flower. Not right now, though. You can roll with it and not drop it. Anyway, so you can only use this type of energy units, like water energy only, and then they'll play an electric type Pokemon, which is super effective and does a ton of damage, which is a real dick move. Or they'll use something that resists water, which makes it nearly impossible to kill them. It's just a really dirty trick. They also tend to try to cover their weaknesses, which I guess is a smart thing to do in the card game, by having Pokemon in their deck that resist the type that the rest of their deck is weak to. But they super cheat on the first monster. They'll either... Boulder Wizard, I need to have a picture of this. Kick, what is... Oh, it gets you an armor sphere, okay. And it just leaves. So next time, picture, then kick it. So, they will pick what their starter is based on yours. So if you bring in the type that beats their deck, they'll start with a monster that resists yours. And then if you're like, okay, I'll come in with a monster that beats the monster that resists the other one, then they'll bring in their original monster, which is probably strong against that one. It's just, it's a circle of a-holery. The being of an a-hole. Fixed amount of damage. One caterpillar. So it's like a bomb? Do I have it? What? I seem to have picked it up. That's unclear. Chillquester. Speaking of Pokemon, those kind of look like Victreebel. Or rather, they look like pitcher plants, which Victreebel looks like. Don't worry, the Kelby is fine,
I shall put
even
this
though
to
we
good use.
skinned them alive. I got its liver, huh? And yet it just gets up and walks away. Got a stink mink. Set off this weird flying fish. I don't know what that does. Is it paralysis or what's happening if I attack it? Maybe that's supposed to be sleep powder. Who knows? Is it at the top of the waterfall? Can I not climb up that? Okay, there's other places to check. Alex's gatherings. Couldn't find anything. But we can keep trying. I don't know what I'm supposed to be finding there. I'll just move on.
What's this?
Rude. You must pay. It... Where is... Is there a cave here? Potion was stolen. Hi there. Bovine. Don't know what that's for, but good to have. Okay, I don't think I can go up there. So where is the... It's not in here, I know that. I'll try, but, yeah, you're not gonna run up the wall. I don't think I can go all the way up there. Yeah. No materials, secret stash, account item for 47 points. Another lantern bug. Don't know how I'd use them. We're just gonna try the place. Oh, jewel lily found. And it says, but I do not see. This is one. Alright, still need at least one more. We could probably slay the Royal Ludroth while we're here. But not right now, we're just showing and gathering. Not entirely paying attention to the game. Just kind of spacing out a bit. What is this meter above my health bar? The red one. Let's see where this goes. This is a trick toad? Ah, decoy, okay. That's what I was doing. Got some sleepy lizards. Actually, the green thing is kind of in front of me. One's down. Still not on the right level for it. So yeah, despite all of your opponent's dirty tricks, the Pokemon TCG games on Game Boy are still pretty fun. It's fun to assemble a deck and try it out. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not so much, but still, you get to use them. It's a different way to play Pokemon. And out. If ever see a modern one of those, and I was saying about Yu-Gi-Oh games earlier. There don't seem to be any with that kind of gameplay going on. A story and RPG elements, characters and such. They're mostly just battles. Well, actually, there was one. At least that I remember. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it was on DS. The biggest qualm I had with that game was that not that it didn't have RPG elements, it did have those, and that was really cool. The problem was that the NPCs would take forever to think through their moves, especially if you were doing anything abnormal. And they had a chance to respond to every step of your turn, so just duels would take forever. It was man, I keep trying to think of that title and I can't. It was a DS game. It was, I think, something like Year Tournament, like 2009 Tournament. It had the 5Ds characters. Do you play as them, or I don't remember if you were your own character and you were just in the same world. Anyways, it was pretty fun. And it had similar elements. It had, you go and talk to people, challenge them to card duels. I think I prefer the Pokemon one though, because the opponents don't take ages to think about their moves. They do play dirty, but Alright, I think I'm just talking in circles about that game, so I'll move on to a different topic. Let's focus on this game for now. Yukunai wants or can get this stuff. Oh, the Maclidor. I might want to keep that, actually. I need some of it for myself. We'll see about giving you the extras later. I completed a request for someone. Probably in the Buddy Hub. Yeah, there's not much reason to go in here. Aside from Kakashi, who... It's interesting that he exists, but... Yeah, he teaches us moves. Sometimes, maybe. Dog and cat just relaxing here. It's cute. Mercenaries, I don't think they'd be back yet. I've only gone on a few quests. Rondine, same thing. So nobody has a completed request here then. Alright, strange. Don't think there's anything new with foraging, but I may as well check.
Have a look around.
Camera, weather, chainmail, hunter. That bone. Can't really zoom in on it, but it looks pretty nice. Same as the bone sets we've seen in the past. The helmet, the helmet might be different. Alloy. Just a pseudo armor. What are these skills? Water attacks, speed sharpening, and critical eye. Not really worth. Speed sharpening isn't really worth skill slots.
Some hunters literally take hours. I'm used to waiting.
It's I was letting him talk. Not a very useful skill. It's not worth a assault on its own, but if it's just like additionally on something, it's nice. Part breaker. Ooh, part breaker. That's a good one. Makes it easier to break or sever parts. When you're hunting tails, that helps a ton. Increases student attacks ability to exhaust monsters. I think that's particularly useful with the hunting horn and hammer. What other weapon? There's one I think that's like really important to your strategy. You exhaust them as much as possible, but I could be wrong. Increases the fill rate for weapons with gauges and the charge rate for weapons with charge attacks. So charge attacks charge faster and gauges fill faster, which is something we do with the dual swords. Muck resistance. Reduces impairments to mobility while stuck in monster muck or deep snow. There are certain maps where that's very important. So we may take this one actually on hunts. Muck resistance. Also focus. If we got that all the way up, it would be nice for both the dual blades and the switch axe, which we will be using at some point. Tetranodon. Whoa. Look like a Ninja Turtle. That's a lot of skills. Speed eating. Increases meat eating and item consumption speed. Yeah, it's useful for using potions in battle. Normal / rapid up. Increases attack power of normal ammo and rapid type arrows. Special ammo boost. Increases power of bowgun special ammo and dragon piercer. Heroics. Increases attack power and defense when health drops. I mean, it could be useful for the attack boost, but generally, if your health is in that range, you don't want to leave it there, even with a defense boost. Reduces max stamina depletion over time. That's not worth a slot. So these ones could be useful for a gunner, otherwise that's a pretty useless armor set. Alright, and as far as weapons...
My hammer's ready.
Yeah, I don't think anything will be new here. Let's look at switch axes.
Are you foraging or upgrading?
So if I fought a Jaggy, I'm sure there are some around, we could get up to Kimura Axe 3. Arzuros Axe. Don't have the braces though. The oratory into who knows what. So yeah, not much in the way of switch axes are available.
Haste makes
Poison
waste.
file though.
Take all the time
So if there's
you
an enemy
need.
that is weak to poison, we may switch to this. Alright.
Goodbye.
I'm hold on to my ore, so I'm not throwing that in. I keep forgetting I need to change their gear though. Not my equipment, but my house. That's where we can do it. We already know that. If you enter your house when you're playing multiplayer, you go to the host's room. Here's dispatch. Yep, you can do it here. And Argosy is not available. Oh, you can go through the Argosy to yourself, so we don't even have to go over to that place. Buddy Dojo, that's what we're here for. Alright. No, it's training. We want to change their equipment. Is that not a thing we do here? I know I can change their stuff. Command equipment, change equipments. Where is the thing for theirs? I know. Oh, right, here it is, the buddy board. Yep. There we go. Palamute gear. Only cupcake matters. Dual-bladed chain. Nothing new in that way. And then it's got the healing scroll, heal blade scroll. Vicinity. Oh, and it's vicinity. Does that mean multiple hunters, or do these not disappear when you're playing multiplayer? Or could it like also heal the monster or something? That wouldn't make any sense, would it? So this heals itself. This heals you. Yes. And your Palamute. You send itself that lures monsters. So that hides the presence. Explosive self looks like kunai. I don't know how I like use these or make them use them. So it would lose its... What was this doing? I mean, it was attract monster attention and cling to them. That did seem really powerful. This is for regular attacks. So what happens if I switch this to something else? Curious. Alright, equipment. Falco equipment. Maxwell. You got nothing new. And Palamutes. Cupcake. Are there better saddles? Scarf, blade. Alright, can we forge more equipment for them? Add their skills. Maxwell. Okay, it's got 3 spaces for skills and we hadn't been using these. Increase max health, increase defense, and negate paralysis. Okay. And Cupcake. Health and attack up. Okay, that's good. At least I'm gonna check that. Behavior, balance is still probably fine. I might want to make them focus on small monsters. Otherwise, we're good. So, will you make stuff for them? Upgrade.
What do you want?
Maybe this one.
Come
Here.
to me if you need
Blaze
me.
Smith Quayside. Okay, yeah, that is what you do. Some scrap you can use. So that's what scraps are for. When I make stuff for myself, I get scraps that I can use for buddy smithing. And if we have materials, we can trade them for scraps. Got it. Forged equipment. Feline Chimera set. That's what it's already got. Feline Acorn set. Real cute. Feline Paws. Footprint Puffer Stem. Feline Alloy. Feline Bone set. Love the bunny skull. Although I kind of like that you can't see his little face anymore. Feline Banabra set. It's cute with those sunglasses. Feline Eltaroth. Reminds me of a bug catcher trainer in Pokemon. It's kind of cute. Doesn't look like armor though. Feline Popo. There's a little piggy. Feline Izuchi. Sweet, match me. That's cute. Just like the helmet replaces my hair, it replaces their ears. That's cute. Feline Baggy. Little Explorer. Feline Arzuros. This is a bigger cat face, eating his face. Feline Lagombe. A little bunny kitty. Feline Acnosom. This little armor set. I don't know why it made me think of this, but kind of reminds me of the Onion Knights from, I want to say Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles? Huh. Ludroth set. This little thick raincoat. Feline Tetranodon. This is got his little postman hat. I like the leaf cape. Alright, we'll start with the Izuchi set. The katana's cool, but I kinda like the scythe blade and it's probably stronger. Let's see. Compare. 10 more attack, 10% more crit rate, and the ranged ability as well, 30 attack and also 10. Yes. Erases healing Mega Boomerang. Doesn't change the moves or anything. Head. Don't want to be previewing it. Gains a lot of defense, but less water and thunder resistance. Probably fine. Same thing. Alright, and then Ludroth set. That's decently stronger, yeah. And Acnosom for the armor, let's see. Also decently stronger. Okay, that's kind of an ugly mess, but it'll do. What about Palamute armor? So this is the basic alloy. Full armor set for the dog? What? All that is a saddle. Wow. And what's it doing for a helmet right now? Is that just its scarf? Or is it the lack of a helmet that is the helmet? No, it's a scarf. Oh, I see. I was thinking it was its scarf from the character creation. Hadn't looked closely, and it's wearing one of these over that. Feline bone set. Whoa. That's pretty neat. And we've got the Izuchi set, which is that? Oh, it's a little additional weapon. Changes. Ah, but it's actual weapon. Okay, that's what's going on there. I thought it was like by the armor for some reason. Cannon baggy. Just a little explorer. Arthros. Armor. Also, I'm not doing that thing where it's going in and out on the camera. Sorry if that's annoying. Just happens as I spin. Can't look on me. That's funny. I'll use the little stuffed bear. It's cute. Aknosan. Very serious armor set. I like it. Woodroth. It's a poodle. Cannon Tetra. Little stealth operations doggo. Okay, so Aknosan. Hat or... I was kind of loving the ridiculous armor set. So we'll equip that. That was not bad either. Izuchi, it would kind of match me, but... I already like the armor. And yeah, we're gonna do this silliness. This for weapon. The highest weapon we can make, which is the cannon bone set. For blade weapons though. Also this has negative affinity, which a lot of blunt weapons do in this game. Okay, that's kind of cool. Its collapsed form is different from its actual blade form. Alright. I could trade for scraps, but nah. I'm holding on to my materials for now. Alright, I think we've gotten better. I should save.
I have a special quest for you.
Good. Gather mushrooms? Sure. Village quest, 3 stars. I think
Here's
we're
the
about
quest
out
list.
on things. In 3 stars, so we'll go back to level 1. We need to catch 8 unique mushrooms.
Don't forget
just
to
go.
eat.
So I'm just thinking about if there are any other card RPGs. I think there was a really interesting Yu-Gi-Oh! One that came out a while ago, but it was Japan only. However, people do like to make English patches for things, and emulators could probably run it. That may be worth looking into, because I'm just really digging the idea of card RPG right now. Maybe with less opponent cheating than the Pokemon TCG. So if it's not right here, then it'll be way up there. Is there a wire bug thing nearby? Got a flash bomb. Flames just make gunpowder. You do need those for guns, but other things. Fire beetle throws a weapon balls, throw at the wall to engulf a target in flames. Neat. Just goes straight in front. Okay. More flash bug. And we're here for mushroom colony. Wonder if there's like a sword to be found here. Can I go in? What is... Okay, that's just a table with a cloth on it. For some reason I thought it was like some sort of giant gem. But it's just a design on the thing. Can I go up on this roof? Yep. For what purpose though? Suppose I can get over to this tree, maybe? Okay, that was not a good idea. That didn't work. Two mushroom things right in a row. That's nice. Yeah, speaking of old card video games, now that I brought it up, I keep thinking about Nightmare Troubadour. I think that was the name of the Yu-Gi-Oh one that I had on a Game Boy. It was really weird, and the only way you could really have success in duels was by using the system they had to make horrible card chimeras. They give you like card parts, and then you'd put them together and make monsters. And sometimes those were decently strong. They gave you the option to get because you had in real life, like you know, your own Boys White Dragon or Dark Magician or whatever, by inputting a code that was on the cards in real life. However, when you input the code, it's like, do you want this card in exchange for 1,000,000 points? But you get like 20 points for winning a duel, so nobody's gonna sit around and win 50,000 duels to use one card. That's more than you do over the course of the entire game. By probably about 49,900. So either you'd cheat or obsessively play for the rest of your life to get decks with those cards. So why even bother including it in the first place, you know? It's like, why type it up? The programming, the code, the whatever language they use. Just the time and the paying an employee to do it. Why bother? To be like, you can have these cards, but actually you can't have these cards. Do I need to have good timing with that? Seems so. Alright, back down and up. No, not all the way down. It's all good. Yeah, alright. There we go. Don't know why I've done this, but I sure have done it. Here's a mushroom. That might be the last one for the quest. Choice mushrooms, huh? So not what we're looking for. A lot of spirit birds, though. This would be good if we were going on a monster hunt. There appears to be nothing in the area, even if I wanted to. There's a mushroom. And here we go. That was easy. That might be the last 1-star quest. I should gather this mining outpost. Outcrop, rather. God bug. I forget what these make. Alright, so I do seem to be streaming on Twitch, even though my software is telling me I'm not. Hold on. A video refreshed, and it was trying to play some music, which would be bad to do on Twitch. We are not allowed to music here. Let me just make sure my desktop audio is muted. Okay.
A special quest has been added.
I'm aware. Doing other things though. Transport items too for a lot of points and steel eggs. I think those are just for selling, but occasionally they did have other uses. And 4 bone piles, or just on to the broken parts quest. We can get some bombs and monster bone. Alright, level 1's done. Let's do level 2.
Have a look.
10 raft shells. There was also someone in town who wanted these. Okay, my channel, YouTube. So I am streaming. Good. I think last time it might not have happened. I've got to edit these descriptions too. Restream keeps shoving in its self-promotion, which is super lame that it does that. Going to area 4-ish. That's where a lot are clustered. We got a big ol', I think that's the Izuchi there. Might have needed some of these too. In our first craft or whatever for the Falco armor. Okay, so that weapon that we replaced isn't what they actually attack with. It's so it's probably good that I gave him a scroll. I don't know if it's a useful one. And also, if we didn't have the healing scroll equipped, I've seen him do healing with a scroll. I'm really unclear on how they work.
Excuse me.
Bones. There was a quest for these, but I don't think I took it. Dragon Husk shards and Monster Bone S. There's a pretty recent. What? Ooh, look at life. What is? What am I looking at? Bird. Bird is what? Where? Crow. More rewards. Okay. Might as well gather some extra stuff this time then. Would that all be related to? Maybe that doesn't affect the rewards. I was thinking it might, and that I should, but. Oh, hey, free Izuchi hide, nice. And sunscorn grass. For a gloam grass bud. But under the sun rays could hold healing powers. Interesting. Quit running not fighting today. So it was right here, according to the map. But I don't see the thing. I'd be impressed if it gets up here. Its little friends have come up here. Oh yeah, I don't need the stink mink. Where are these gather things? They say they're about this height. Maybe it down there? So it is. Boat shell is an oyster. Okay.
Let us move!
Let's get these fish. I have no idea what that symbol is. The one on the left, I think the one on the right is a crit rate, if I'm not mistaken. Which it very well could be. Get out of here. I want none of that nonsense right now. Yep. That's what I'm trying to do. I just... Nice. That should be right... here. But yeah, there's a recent Yu-Gi-Oh game, and... it doesn't have any overworld map or movement or anything like that. You just do the duels. There's a little bit of the dialogue from the stories, but not really. It's not entirely accurate and excludes the majority of it. It's just like a little bit of a, what do you call it? Like place setting, just to explain the opponent's deck. Like, oh, you're gonna be fighting Kaiba from this episode, so he's gonna use the cards used in that episode. So it's a little dull as far as that, but the card play is pretty on point. Except for that, there were a lot of cards with animations, and you can't speed up or skip the animations in any way, so it made a lot of the decks unfun to play with or against. And I think the animations happen like every time you either play the card or attack with it or like do anything with the card, you gotta sit through an animation. Like, it's kind of nice to see the first time or 3 or 4 times, or if you're doing like a you're doing the story duel and you're like, oh, this is a big moment, we're gonna have this animation, but every time you use the card is a little much. So they really should have let you have an option for it or be able to skip them. I don't know what this is, so we're throwing it. That's a healthy Zemite. Healthy outlook towards life. Just kill anything you don't recognize. Sharkskin scale, hey. Those things might go towards a new armor set, and they indicate the presence of the shark monster. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's, I think, a Zam something. Like a Zamaroth. Yep. You want some fish? You'll get some. Yeah. That's what you get for starting fights. I'm just gonna ignore you. Good job. I think I need their parts for something. Yeah, now that I think of it, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh game on, I think, the 3DS. I don't know if there's 3DS emulators, but it seemed pretty interesting, and then it was Japan only. So if I could play that, that could be fun. Maybe even do it on stream. If people want to see it. Otherwise, I'll probably just play it alone in my free time. But I've got a ton of other games that need played and streamed. Planning to do some more Monster Train at some point. Isaac's coming out soon. Definitely gonna do that. I still gotta get through the rest of Pokemon TCG. Oh, we're back at camp, huh? Let's grab these rations. Pretty well on stamina. We're one short on the raft shells. Spiderweb, nice. Those are for traps. We'll need traps later for capture quests. Maybe lantern bugs are like a crafting equipment, because you don't pick them up like you do those other fireball things. Can always use more honey. When we get more spaces at the Argosy, I'll set up a honey farm. The three I typically do are honey farm, armor seed farm, and might seed farm. I keep saying it's right in this area, and then it's just not here. Oops. Didn't mean to fly that far, but here's a thing. I think we've been here so long that it's same one respawned. That'll do though.
Another successful hunt!
Got a fish here. These make gunpowder. These can sharpen your weapon, but why would you do that when you've got a whetstone? Whetstones used to be limited. You had to go out and do gathering quests to get them. And you could only carry so many on a hunt. It was more than you needed, but still, it was annoying. So I think that's a good feature now that we just carry a whetstone all the time and it doesn't take up a space in our inventory or need to be gathered. I guess I'll just turn in the Maclador. Okay. Guardian Parasol.
Hi.
Here's the gear. Yep. New Palmu gear.
Look.
So I like the Steel Fang. Explosive cell for its weapons. So what was this then? Give us on both sides of the chain. Oh, that's the... When he does the spinning chain attack, he was using this. Shield for canines, both capable of attacking and defending? Weird. Let's give that a try. I like the healing in its vicinity, but right now, we probably don't need it. So far, this game's been pretty easy.
I have a special quest for you.
You sure do. Someone needed
Come again.
those razor shells or whatever, but they also need something else.
A
So
special
we're not done
quest has been
with
added.
their request yet.
Which quest would you
Not
like?
so tasty, Popo's tongues.
Don't forget to eat.
Also, speaking of trading card games, I might stream some Magic at some point. I like to do not meta decks. I like to do meme decks or jank I come up with on my own. I had some really fun decks. Although I haven't played in a little while, so all of my cards will, at this point, no longer be usable. So I'd have to start fresh and make new jank. And maybe even spend some money on the game, which, ugh. I stopped playing during probably the previous set. I think the current is Cal time, but oh right, attacking Popos. That's I'm looking for a herb or something in Popo tongues. Anyways, I was playing during a set where I forget what it was called, but it had the elemental guy in the front. Popo just ran away into a wall and despawned. That was strange.
I shall put this to good use.
And he'd been in a couple sets before, and each time he shows up, he becomes more powerful, and his art becomes more interesting. Like he gains more arms. They're all glowy with the elements. And Tekka. It's our first one. Probably just meat. Or Anatol, okay. Anyways, like 2 days after, it was a short time, maybe not exactly 2 days, but really short after the pack came out, they banned the main monster of the set, and he was the guy in the packs, he was in their marketing, so they were, I guess they really felt the push to do it. He was fairly broken.
Sorry, but duty calls.
Let me look up the name of the card real quick as soon as I'm carving here.
Run!
MTG Elemental. There he is. Omnath, the locus of creation. So yeah, Omnath got banned really quickly after his set came out. And a lot of it was based around playing him or just using him to play other things. So just, you know, that set entirely got screwed by that. And a lot of people kind of felt cheated. Like, the marketing of the set was that you were going to get to play Omnath and make Omnath decks. They're usually all color decks. So they were fun and interesting to play, and then you just couldn't anymore. And I had built an Omnath deck. I had been using a mutate deck for months and months, and then just kind of evolved into a Omnath deck as he came out, and then yeah, I couldn't use my deck anymore. And a lot of strategies were just trying to counter mutate decks, because that was now the thing everyone was doing. So my decks were getting countered. We didn't get to play with the main parts of the cool new set. And mostly, like, the biggest thing that I stopped playing because of was they were just massive UI problems, and they were constant too. And many, there were several. A huge number of major glitches were coming in, and they were taking forever to fix them. So I was gonna wait till the next set came out, which is Kaldheim, which I think is out now, but now I'm too busy playing other games. And I'm not sure I want to get back into Magic because it kind of becomes an obsession. I tend to spend a lot of time playing it because it feels like you've only played a couple duels and then you look at the clock and you've been playing 10 hours. So just I kept accidentally spending entire days playing it. And before I got into Arena, I was playing the physical card game with my roommates in college, and that was also an unhealthy obsession. I wanted to play every day, and they weren't into it. It was hard to convince them to play. So I just spent a lot of my time crafting decks and like thinking about how they'd work out. Or going to the local card shop and playing there. I really prefer to play with my roommates though. And I spent hundreds on those cards, maybe even over 1,000. It was not a good idea. Especially because there was a card I was trying really hard to chase down, to open from a pack myself. It would have been like 10, 20 bucks to just buy it online. It was like, no, I want to open this.
I have a special
Quest
quest
real
for
quick,
you.
we're going on a 2-star.
Have a look.
Hold on. I guess we're out of gathering quests. Rude. Okay. We'll go on a small monster slaying then. Altraust or Banabra.
Good luck.
Anyways, the card was Avacyn. I think the set was Avacyn Returned. She was an angel important to the lore of Innistrad, which is probably my favorite area of MTG because it's got like werewolves and angels and demons. So I wanted to pull an Avacyn of my own, and I bought too many booster boxes, and I just never got one. So I think I just caved and bought one online, so I would stop buying packs. Because that was costing me too much money. Maybe if I ever end up rich someday, I'll start buying cards again, but otherwise, I think I'll stick to Arena, wherein I play free, which definitely gets you us. I should have taken a ranged weapon. What am I thinking? This would be a great time for the bow. Let's go to the base and get a bow. You can fast travel, but we're like right here, so. But yeah, I obsessively bought packs to try to get that. Item box, magic equipment, chain equipment, weapon. So the Shrimscorn is our current, and I'll move to a bow. I should maybe make a bow, because it'll be my ranged weapon whenever we do quests like these. I prefer the bow over the guns, even though guns in Monster Hunter is kind of a cool idea. Speaking of, I still haven't seen the Monster Hunter movie. It looked stupid, but I really wanted to see the monsters on the big screen. That would have been awesome. Like, I think they fight a Diabolos. Just big screen Diabolos would have been horrifying in a good way. Yeah, that's probably too far away. Am I running with my weapon out? No, it just doesn't do anything when I press the button. Okay. I should also apply the power coating. I think we'll fire less than 50 arrows. Not this button. There we are. What was I talking about? Not ranged weapons or the Monster Hunter movie, but before that. Was it something about card games? MTG, that's right. Just spending too much money on Magic the Gathering. So I play Arena free-to-play, which is not the best experience. You really should be prepared to spend money if you want to do well in that. In Monster, in a Magic the Gathering arena. Aw, Yoshi'd my dog. Used him to jump a gap and then dropped him. Thankfully there's no fall damage and they come right back though. So nothing to be sad about. Unlike Yoshi, wherein you just straight up kill the poor little thing. Of a spider. So they automatically enable the monster riding that normally you have to build up. Let's do this. I'll still probably play some Arena on this channel at some point. Also, I should maybe sell my card collection someday.
Excuse me.
Right now, it probably wouldn't be worth much, but you know, 10, 20 years in the future, maybe when those cards become more scarce. Cards aren't really a good investment because even then, I doubt they'll be worth any substantial money. Oh, I can climb this. I was wondering how to get up here. The only cards that are really worth much are the really old ones from the alpha sets, especially Black Lotus. People pay crazy money for a mint condition Black Lotus. Not bad for one area.
What's this?
Twisted Remains. Enter's Room. I was looking for the corpses. I only see this one. An Wing though, that's good to have. Maybe they disappeared because they didn't drop anything. Think. Jumping from heights in this game is not triggering my what do you call it? Not agoraphobia, but maybe that does it. But fear of heights. Sometimes in games I'll feel how I really would when I stand over cliffs or have big falls. Not in this one. I'm not really afraid of heights so much as I get sick when I get high up. I feel vertigo. I start to feel like I'm going to fall. And I start to lose my balance, which would make me fall. I've been on a Ferris wheel exactly one time. And I hated it. I was there with a cute girl, whomst that I had a crush on. Did I just pick up? You can throw it, huh? I thought I was just gonna like, kick it. Anyways, I was there with a cute girl, and I was trying to be brave for her, to not exactly impress her, but just not to look extra stupid in front of her. Although I did get permission from her to hold her hand if I got scared. But I didn't take advantage of that because well, I didn't want her to think like I was scared. And this was a situation in which she was aware that I liked her and did not like me back, so there was no potential for that to have worked out well. So I liked being with my friend, but aside from that, I didn't enjoy the experience at all. Ferris wheels suck. I can see how they'd be romantic for a date, but just going by yourself or with a friend, would not recommend. Especially if you're afraid of heights. And I've never been able to handle carnival rides physically. Mentally, I'm fine with it, and I like going fast even, but my body just can't handle it. We went on a ride. It was called like the Tornado or something like that. It spins you around, like you sit in these little car seat things, like a big cup. It's got seats in it. You sit in the seat, you strap on a seat belt, and that spins around. And then the machine spins all of the cups around with the seats in them really fast, and they go kind of, not entirely vertical, but kind of vertical. They move towards being parallel with the ground. And that was kind of awful. I wanted to enjoy it, but when I was done with it, I was apparently pale as a ghost, and I couldn't really move my body very well. It was a real struggle to walk back to my friend's mom and just sit down on the bench. Like, all of my limbs were asleep. It was not cool. So I just had to kind of sit there for a long time before I could move again. And yeah, despite the really bad time I had on the rides, I still kind of enjoyed myself because I was there with my friend. And even though I had a crush on her, I also just really liked her as a person and friend. And girls sometimes don't seem to understand that those things are not mutually exclusive. You can have a crush or even be in love with a girl and still also just, value her as a person and like her as a friend and, all that stuff. I've never understood why girls tend to think, if they find out that you have feelings for them, your friend, they sometimes feel betrayed, or they're like, oh, so you're doing all this to get in my pants, or something like that. If anything, it would be to be getting into your heart, not your pants. I mean, sure, sex is part of a relationship, but the heart's more important, and it's still not about that. I mean, I'm sure some guys are like that, but for a lot of guys, myself included, and where am I going? I'm sure many other dudes have been in similar situations. it's not mutually exclusive. You can be in love with someone, or even have just horny feelings for someone, and still also value them.
Victory!
Still not a corpse? Ah well. Let's get these bones.
Wonderful work, my friend.
There's a cool boomerang. I should mine here. So yeah, that was a great day despite being kind of a terrible day. The point was, I kind of have a fear of heights, but, you know, not fear so much as my body cannot process them correctly, I guess I'd say. It's not like I'm, like, afraid of it. Like you'd be afraid of,
Let's see what nature has in store
what
for
are
us.
people afraid of? Clowns, maybe? Or the dark? I'm not afraid of either, but I think a lot of people are. But you know, if you're also afraid of heights, you wouldn't feel the same way you would about those things. Because it's not a literal fear. Kind of like homophobia, which, you know, also not fear. Even though that it literally means being afraid. Phobia. Alright, new topic. Right, recently I watched or started watching a video on YouTube. It was like over an hour long, so I just kind of skimmed through it and watched like the first 5 minutes or so. It was called Skin Theory, and it was about SpongeBob. A guy had noticed that in a lot of SpongeBob episodes, like pretty much every episode, there's some sort of instance of someone wearing a false skin, like a mask or an entire fake body. SpongeBob does a lot of that, and it's weird how often it happens. And it's just weird in general. All of their skins, I guess you might call them. That was a strange video. And it was the only video the guy had ever posted, except for he was interviewing. He had one other video and it wasn't very long. He interviewed some guy who he was like an audio engineer. It was kind of interesting interview, and that had some weird circumstances to it too. It was kind of an interesting watch. So I need to sit down one of these days and listen to his SpongeBob skin theory at some point. It's a very pointless thing to dig into, but I mean, what do I do that isn't pointless? I mean, I'm literally playing a video game for 0 viewers on the internet right now. At least according to OBS. Maybe there are people showing up and it's just not registering. Same as how it doesn't register that I'm online. I had to check both my Twitch and my YouTube channel to see that we are actually streaming despite it saying that we're not. I am loving this dog armor. It's so stupid in a good way. So dumb. It was so good. So I'm running around staring at it. What are we doing next? Let's see.
Make sure to check the special quest as well.
I will not do that. Next up is Frosty Paradise. Slaying 10 baggy. Okay. Simple enough. Can probably stay on the dog. But let's eat, so as I have stamina and such. Eat a meal. Pay with money. Funny dango. Combo points. Bird collar. Tango trainer. Go. Pretty cat girls. I am absolutely a degenerate furry. No shame. Right, new topic. Just talked about skin theory. I felt like that would take longer to talk about, but it didn't. That's the case with a lot of these things I want to talk about. Like, I think about it for like an hour in my head, and then I accidentally summarize it in like 2 sentences. Oh, and I've still got the bow equipped. So we'll probably dogfight him. That's also the name of one of my songs. I skipped a word that sentence. One of my favorite songs. I just said one of my songs just now, didn't I? It's so weird that my brain does that. I told it to say the word favorite and just it didn't come out. Okay, don't be doing that. Apparently if you hold the right trigger after you're jumping and then let go of it while you're climbing the ivy, you do a backflip off. What is this? Frigid berry. No, just pick it up and keep going. Okay, I thought we'd take a second to gather. Here we are. Oops. Pull it out, and then there we are.
Uh-oh.
Go to sleep.
So they got sleep light. So energy drinks cure sleep light. That's good to know. That may be important for some big monsters. I remember there were a couple that put you to sleep. Anyways, one of my favorite songs is called Dogfight. It's probably from some obscure anime or another Initial D song. Probably Initial D, I would guess. That's how I found it. I was probably looking up Deja Vu. And ooh, Rock Lizard, we need a picture. Rock Lizard. What do you... Okay. Use give. Isium. Isium? Last time we got an armor sphere. I guess I'm maxed on honey. I really should deposit it. I need to start remembering to use item sets as we head out. Okay, so Blart side of the mall. Next discussion topic. I was watching a YouTube video wherein I think it was just a podcast that someone uploaded. A guy was talking about how he watched Paul Blart Mall Cop while also listening to Dark Side of the Moon, and they actually synced up well in a lot of the scenes. I'm gonna try that myself sometime. If I could get away with it somehow. That could also be interesting to stream or do a YouTube video of, but I don't know how we could get away with that because those are 2 very copyrighted things. Also, Paul Blart Mall Cop was a weird movie. It was maybe kind of good, but also not really. I'd recommend watching it once and probably then never again. It's a little bit a meme movie like Shrek, but it's nowhere near as actually good as Shrek is. If I were to guess at the armor symbol, I would think it's like a... I guess I just said symbol. I am not saying these words in the correct order I intend to. Am I having a stroke? No, my brain's just, it doesn't words well. I didn't intend to say that as I did just now. It does not words. It's bad at speaking. I have always been bad at turning my cohesive thoughts into outside sentences that other people can hear. Something I've struggled with since I was a tiny child. Anyways, trying to say that symbol, the one on the top left, it's flashing. It's weird. If I were to guess, I'd think it's an armor boost. That was a combination between I stutter and also past couple days I've been like just small gaps of air have been trying to escape my throat, like extremely tiny burps. And they keep interrupting when I'm speaking. But yeah, also I've got a pretty bad stutter. I was hoping that streaming would help me get over the stutter, but I think it's just, it's part of my brain, so I'll never fully be over it. I think I do it less than I used to, but it still happens a lot. Sometimes I'd trip over a sentence so much I've just got to start it over. Like I think I just did just then. Alright.
It's over.
But yeah, Pole Bar's not actually good like Shrek is. Shrek is a really decent movie. It's probably in my top 10 favorites. Like just unironically good.
Let's have a closer look.
It's a fun movie. You have an ogre, go on an adventure, save a princess, fall in love. You got a donkey banging a dragon. It's great. And they have children, so horrible mutant children. So it is straight up canon that the donkey had sex with the dragon. So yeah, Shrek's great. Hobart has fairly similar levels of meme to it, but it is not actually good. Is an okay movie, but I'm good with only having watched it the once. But maybe someday we'll watch Dark Side of the Moon with it. We'll listen to Dark Side of the Moon while we watch it. See how that really does stack up. We've got a request completed. Somebody wants to talk to me. Whomst though? Is it you? You got the picture, yes. Wizard. Uh-huh. Okay. More great wire bugs. We already had more than we could use, but good to have.
Go kick some butt.
Yep. Okay, next up is...
I have a special quest for you. Here's the quest list.
Hold on, the urgent quest is to... Never mind, it's still there. I was thinking I was wondering why I had to repeat key quests, but I guess I just hadn't done them, so can we just ignore the urgent quest? For now, we're gonna stick with minor things, though. Not a Kazoo yet. hunting Jaggies or Jaggias?
Good luck.
Alright. I can, I will. Ooh, Kristen, over times you can carve that. That is super useful. Especially for like hard hunts or rare monsters, getting those carves can be super important. Trying to decide what to talk about next. I've got a whole big list here of things, and I'm probably going to repeat like all of these since nobody is watching right now. That's the one advantage of having no viewers, is you can keep telling the same jokes and stories. Because nobody heard it the first time. I need to use my item set. Item box, manage items, item loadouts. Yep. Alright. Oh, and equip my real weapon. Dual blades. Maybe I should switch to the switch axe. Maybe we'll make one in the future and try it out. Oh, I remembered. Okay. That I don't want the helm displayed. Got to see my hair and forehead tattoo. Not tattoo, it's a face marking. Something that can be washed off. And probably will be when we next play a Monster Hunter game. I wonder if I could remake my character in stories. I think you have a set default character in those ones, but maybe. What is going on with this map? This little cave here. Right, so discussion topics. There's Lasagna Cat. Lasagna Cat's a trip. So this YouTube channel came out of nowhere somewhere around 13 years ago. Which was around 2008. And just posted a bunch of videos at once and then disappeared for 8 years. They were all live action videos making fun of
Sorry,
the
but
comic
duty
strip
calls.
Garfield. They would reenact the strip with, I would assume the main guy behind it being John, and then there was a guy in a Garfield suit and a
I'll help
guy in an
myself, thank
Odie
you.
suit. Odie's the dog. And at first they would reenact the strip as a skit with a lot of canned laughter, which was their sarcastic way of saying, you know, this isn't very funny. Oh hey, Baroth, we're not prepared for that yet. I'd like to have a sharper weapon before we really fight these. Also, this is a gathering quest, or a small monster quest, so just not going to worry about it. There's another unknown monster on the map. Maybe we'll discover what it is, but we won't fight it. Anyways, after they do the skit in each video, or rather, after they do the reenactment in each video, they then do an entirely new skit based on the idea in the thing. And they're all very dumb. And they range from a couple minutes long to like an hour. There was one where they hired some actor or voice actor. Maybe he was a theater actor. but some guy who was willing to do it, to talk for an hour straight about how that Garfield comic strip was the greatest thing in the entire world. It changed his life. It was the greatest work mankind has ever created. But dude just goes on and on and on and on about it, and it's funny, but it's crazy the dedication that those people had. All to just point out that Garfield's not funny. Some of them are really funny videos. So it's worth checking out Lasagna Cat's oldest videos. My favorite was the one where they do a parody of Final Fantasy VI. Have Garfield and Odie fighting against... Not Garfield and Odie. John and Odie fighting against Garfield. And a plate of lasagna. And lasagna uses a... I think fire spell for some reason. And it hits everybody. Garfield gets taken out, but then lasagna heals Garfield. It's like, oh yeah, Garfield loves lasagna. This is a dumb little joke. And then Jim Davis joins the party as a result of the battle. And then they go into the skill menu and click on John Davis. Or Jim Davis, that's it. Oh, hey, relic record. It's a little sword. Nice, I didn't see it in the bush. Anyways, it's Jim Davis, he's the author of Garfield. Anyways, so Jim joins the party and they try to go to his skill menu, and it keeps giving an error message. A not so subtle way of saying they think Jim Davis has no skill. But then, after like 8 years, they came back, and they made a weirdly high budget video about how they wanted you to call a phone number that they'd registered and leave a voicemail indicating your name and number of sexual partners. I think they did a few more of the same old videos about how, you know, the skits, the reenactments, and just making fun of Jim Davis at the end of each one. But then they released the results of the phone calls. It was a nearly 5-hour video in which they frame it in a skit in which the doorbell gets rung or the door gets knocked on, and John, Odie, or Garfield, alternately, they get up to answer the door, and they say, "Who is it?" And then the person who left the message says their name, and then they open the door, and then they play their whole message. It's like John, 15, or a lot of them said more than what was actually asked of them. They had a lot of weird stories, or just weird things to say, strange rants. One person kept his rant going over 3 separate messages throughout the video. I don't know if those were scripted or they just got some real weird callers. But it was pretty surreal. And the person at the door each time was like a mannequin, but their faces kept getting progressively weirder and more messed up. And after they got through all of the voicemails, there was one last skit, and it starts with another person coming to the door. John answered it, but it's John also at the door, and he says, "John Arbuckle, 2." And the one inside the house laughs and says, "John Arbuckle, 0." You know, he's saying he can't get laid. Doesn't believe that he's ever had sex. And then the focus changes to the John outside the house. And he's looking in, and he sees a cat inside the house who's basically what Garfield looked like IRL, just an orange stripy cat. And he's aged significantly. He's maybe the age of the actual Garfield comic strip, or Jim Davis's age. Either way, pretty old. And he leaves dejectedly. Gust grab. What? What? Hold on. So use this and then like... That is neat. Right, I should be looking for things to kill. What am I doing? So, John, who's old now, goes to a bus station where he sees a pair of those weird mannequins. And one's pushing the other in a wheelchair. They leave behind a briefcase. John goes over, takes the briefcase, gets on a bus, and he looks inside the briefcase. It's the cat he had seen before in the house, but dead and mummified. It starts to play scary music, and the cat starts following him, at some point floating in front of him. Just this weird mummified dead cat. And over this time, it's playing quotes from Jim Davis about how good and how influential Garfield is. And the scene transitions to John being in a desert, climbing over rocks, kind of like what we've just been doing. And he finds a guy that kind of looks like a shaman, except he's wearing Garfield body paint. And this is the reason I don't recommend watching this video. The dude's completely naked. He's straight up got his donger out, just dingle dangling in the wind. And John and the Garfield guru keep getting closer to each other. And finally the Garfield man gets up behind him and just makes a noise. I was gonna say like he says something, but it's just a noise from his mouth. Just like a and then John collapses into a pile of dirt and worms. And the Garfield man picks up the worms and the dirt. And then there's another scene transition, and it goes to what seems to be a girls' Catholic school. One wherein they're
Make sure to check the special
required to
quest
wear
as
uniforms.
Well. Which quest would you like?
Let's pick the quest. Ladies of the Lake, 10 Luderoth. Alright,
Be careful out there.
let's eat. What do we got?
I've been waiting for you.
Harvester, gatherer, trainer.
Sure thing.
Only got harvester. Okay.
Back to work.
So, in this Catholic school, it's in the girls' bathroom, and a girl is screaming. She's giving birth, and another reason I really don't recommend watching this video, it shows the birth happening.
The hunt is on!
I mean, assumably, just it's faked, not anyone's actual private parts, or so one would hope. I didn't want to look too closely at it. But, then the girl starts talking in, I think, Polish? About how she's cursed. And she begs God to forgive her. And the curse will be cyclical and eternal. And then you see what she seems to have given birth to, and it's a little babby wearing John's clothes. And there's also a cat, a very Garfield cat, standing on the toilet. And then that's the end. The point they were trying to make with all of that was that Garfield's cyclical. It just goes in circles, cycles even. Just kind of repeats itself a lot. And it's eternal and unending. It's been going on for a very, very long time, just kind of doing the same thing over and
I shall
over.
put this to good use.
And also, it's not funny. So, this channel, Lasagna Cat, and the people behind it, went to extreme lengths, spent great deals of time, effort, and likely money, all to make the point that Garfield's not very funny. It's horrifying, and honestly, pretty impressive. The budget for a lot of videos was clearly really high. Do I have to climb this thing to get over it? These areas? Oh. I don't think I got stamina for this. Yeah, I was impressed. Oh, we can climb like this, like there's stairs. That's probably easier. Get my dog. Climb faster than I can. There we are. Nah, same speed, I think. This kind of reminds me of Salt and Sanctuary. There's a level like this. Just a million stairs as you climb up a pyramid thing. I could probably climb to the top, but for now let's go inside. So that's Lasagna Cat. It's maybe worth checking out some of the videos. Gunpowder level 3, Auroral. Shorty until they can bear the brunt of brutal hits? What? I don't understand what that is, what it's for. Weird.
What's this?
Yeah, easily one of the weirdest YouTube channels that I've ever stumbled upon, and it was a strange experience to go through those videos. So I might recommend like skimming through the 5-hour one. I think people in the comments left links to timestamps on the funnier messages, because most of them are just like, it's like, who is it? And it's Steve, and he's like, all right, what's going on, Steve? Or like, Steve from Kentucky, or whatever. And then the door is like, hi, Steve from Kentucky, 3. So it was like 90% of the people at the door, even though they did use weird models for them. All in all, a real strange video and a real strange channel. Hey now, what's on a flat surface? What are you doing? Alright, let's try getting to the top of this. Would you stop jumping backwards and go? I know we can run over it. Okay, all the way to the top this time. Also, I need to find out when an Aurora is. Maybe it's about that thing on my health bar. Sorry, had to pay attention to something I will for a second. Can I not go any higher here? I would assume that's the end of this level, but let's try and get there. Oh, I just can't go, okay. Let's see what's at the back of the pyramid. Maybe a better way to climb. No, hey, I didn't say to do that. Oof, that would have been bad. Just kind of jumping off the edge. So there's kind of outcroppings on the way up. Maybe we can make use of those. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. I use it. Use Cupcake to start the climb. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just very suddenly fell off of the thing. I don't think we're getting back up. Oh, we are, nice. Just barely, though. Okay, so don't try and use Cupcake. If I had a third, we could probably do it. We still did it. Unless, is this part we could... No, it's not the part we could already get to. Let's see what's up here. There's some annoying noises going on. IRL, I hope my microphone's not picking it up. Apologies if it is. My upstairs neighbor makes a lot of noise. And doesn't seem to care what time of night it is. and really never sleeps much. So just kind of always around to be annoying. Ivy and a blaze nut. All that claiming for some ivy and gunpowder, I guess. Let's see what happens if we jump off. Now, which direction could we safely jump off in? Which, I mean, just make the entire jump. Doesn't seem to be anything really important back there, so I'll just go this way. Oh. Could make a far enough jump. There's Jewel Lily. That's probably the way they want you to use to go up there. Not climb yourself. Although I appreciate that you can climb it yourself. That's really neat. Alright, let's go. I'll probably just take them all the way back up. Down the stairs. Not to the top. There might be a jewel lily for the top, but why go? There was a whole lot of nothing. Go these cats. Don't think there's any reason to attack them. Maybe it'll be for a quest, maybe it was just world building.
Excuse me.
Yep. Yeah, that's probably nothing. What was I even doing here? Fighting Woodroth. That was our purpose. Yeah, monster material. Let's grab that. Oh, there's material. This is sushi fish. Sushi fish. So we've talked about a lot of things already. What else on the list? Oh, Chuck. Yeah. Put Chuck on the list. It's I spent a few months watching that show on, I think it was on Amazon. Anyways, the show from the, I think, early 2000s about a guy named, of course, Chuck, who, he's just an average Joe working at a, what would you call it, like a Radio Shack? But, you know, not the, you know, they came up with some fake name, but it's basically just Radio Shack, a little, or Staples maybe, just like office supplies and also computer repair, and he does the computer repair desk. He's on that group for it. I think he's like the leader of their little team, 4 or so people. And maybe even team's too strong a word, just, you know, the IT people at the store. He's the only truly competent one. But it's not about that. It would have been a boring show if it was about that. See, that's just his day job. He gets sent a mysterious email from someone he hasn't seen in a long time. Someone who kind of ruined his life. Got him kicked out of college. But he checks the email and links to a strange video. And as he watches it, a bunch of images flash in his mind. And then his computer explodes, or fries, just stops being able to work, and he passes out. And when he wakes up,
Sorry.
he has a
duty
ton of
calls.
information in his head. Apparently it was encrypted in that video within the images. And the information was all in a computer called the Intersect. The Intersect was a supercomputer
Let's keep it up!
jointly run by the NSA, CIA, I think also FBI, just all the American security agencies, and it was encrypted within images, so the information could be stored, but nobody was trusted enough to really know the information. However, Chuck was particularly predisposed
Our quest is
to
win!
understanding that kind of information. Which was why his friend got him kicked out of college in the first place. Because you see, his friend was a secret agent. And the class that Chuck was in was secretly a way to recruit agents. And Chuck had shown a natural predisposition to understanding encoded images, and they took a test about encoded images, and you were supposed to like see like 1,000 images in under a minute, and then try and remember as many as you could. And Chuck remembered them all, whereas you were really expected to do like 5 or 10, or if you're like really proficient, like if you were meant to be recruited, you'd remember like 100. But he was just super good at it, which is why his friend knew he'd be the right person to send the intersect to. But it's also why he got him kicked out of the college, because he didn't want the CIA to be able to recruit him. But it kind of ended up happening. He ended up working, not exactly for, but with the CIA, and risking his life constantly, going on secret agent missions because he had all this information in his head. And he couldn't just access it at will. He would suddenly get flashes of the information when he saw important documents or blueprints or people who were of interest to the FBI or CIA or whatever. So it's basically a spy show wherein one of the characters is not trained at all to be a spy. Until, I think it was the second season, wherein they find a second intersect, a more improved version, where it included not only intel, but also information on like combat skills. So now he can somewhat at will, he can't entirely control it, but a little more control than he had before, just out of nowhere, temporarily become a master of certain fighting styles. Just like, you know, I know Kung Fu. They do a Matrix reference, and then he just does a bunch of Kung Fu. Even though, you know, he's had no training at all because intersect. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and it makes less and less sense as the series goes on. It gets a little silly at some points, more than a little silly, because the whole concept is already a little bit silly. And at some point they develop, and this is the dumbest thing, intersect glasses. They're just sunglasses, but anybody who puts them on gets the intersect flashed before them, and it gets stored in their brain, and they can use it. Even though, like, the whole point, the whole premise of Chuck was that, like, only he would really be able to understand all that, be able to process it with his brain. But whatever, now just, like, anybody can do the intersect thing by putting on those glasses. So that, you know, they get the information and also instant martial arts abilities. Several of the plot lines in some of the seasons are real doofy. But overall, it's a good and interesting show, and they had really good music for it too. They picked good songs, and they made just really catchy songs as well.
special quest for you.
So I really like that show.
Have a look.
Even the bad seasons, I still kind of enjoyed watching it. It was interesting. It had spy plots. It had romance. Chuck is in love with his CIA handler. One of them, anyways. He's got a couple. And they keep really doing that will they or won't they thing that TV shows did back in that time.
There's so many of them. I'd
Like
get
they want to put them
confused too.
together, but they feel like they'll end the show if they really get together. So they can't really get together. So they keep coming closer and farther apart, and closer and farther, and closer and farther. It's a little obnoxious. Looks like we've reached the end of the gathering small monster quest, so I'll do a different stream when we get back to actually hunting monsters. It's super late. I hadn't realized how late at night it is. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I got a later start than I intended. I just wanted to make sure I streamed a little today. I was only going to do a couple quests, and then we just kind of did them all. So I should make a second stream for proper hunting. I should probably not do it tonight because I'll end up keeping going, and it'll be like 6 a.m. when I stop. I do want to play more, but I should. Just not.
Take care of yourself.
In any case, I was talking about Chuck. So he's in love with his handler. They do the will they or won't they thing. They do eventually get together, and it's heartwarming and such. It's all like, yay, romance plot. The ship sails. Sorry if that's a spoiler, but there's more than that. It goes on for quite a ways after, and it does get I wouldn't say bad, but harder to take seriously as it goes. Yeah, it's a fun show. I'd recommend watching it. Yeah, that's probably what I should stop today. I shouldn't start up another topic. So Chuck, we talked about Chuck, Lasagna Cat, Blart Side of the Mall, Pokemon TCG, GBC, the SpongeBob Skin Theory, which I still don't entirely understand because I just kind of skimmed through that video a little bit. Yeah, this has been an alright stream. Thank you for watching. If you watch this, it's very likely that literally nobody will ever hear these words. But if you did, thank you for sticking around listening, watching. Hope you had fun. I had fun, just kind of chilling out, playing some Monster Hunter. We'll get more serious in the next video, but even then it'll still be pretty chill because this game's easy. I think it was intended to be an easier Monster Hunter for some reason. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, it's because it's on the Switch, but they released For You, I think, on the Switch. Or Generations XX. It was like Monster Hunter X originally, and then they did an upgraded version. And you could transfer your data from the 3DS to the Switch, but I think for some reason I wasn't able to do that, so I didn't want to start from scratch, so I just never played that one. Which is a shame. It had a lot of cool monsters in it. Like, I think I had the Glavenus and the Mizutsune. Mizutsune's in this one, so I'm hoping those other monsters are too. I mean, it was in the demo. It's the Soap Dragon. In the demo, it was really hard to fight. I think they gave us just, like, bad armor and weapons. It shouldn't be too much trouble when we actually come to it. But I do have to focus on getting rid of Soap Blight and Water Blight. They were a pain. But yeah, so we have that to look forward to in the future, and next one we're gonna hunt some monsters. So thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever time it is,